bring in retired Army Lieutenant General Keith Kellogg now. He's a former National Security Advisor for Vice President Pence and a Fox News contributor. General, always good to have you. We need your expertise on the board here. Take us through what these operations look like as they move further and further south. We sort of brought back up this map of Gaza so we can continue to show in the light blue areas the reported Israeli clearing operations and the announced evacuation zone. This is here we've seen for quite some time. You've got about 70% of the Gaza civilian population that has moved into the southern area of Gaza. As this military operation moves and targets more of southern Gaza, what is this going to look like, General?
Yeah, Sandra, thanks for having me. Look, they have now decided, the Israelis, that this is a total eradication of Hamas in Gaza itself. They've now gone south from Gaza City to Khan Yunis, or the other large city that's down there, and they're going to basically eradicate the organization, which they need to do. You know, Brett made a comment, and you and I had talked about this actually probably over a month ago, that the issue of hostages, they almost have to block that out of their mind. It's a really hard thing to say, and it's really hard for the military to say and to work through it. But they have got to go on an eradication operation. The Israelis are now down to two options. It's either to be or not to be as a nation. And Hamas is the impediment to them becoming a nation. And here's what I would say as everybody's watching this operation. We need to think back to what it looked like in World War II with the United States and the Allies when we went against Germany and against Japan. And what I mean by that, it's an eradication of an element of that society, which is Hamas. And then you start to rebuild from there. And that's what they need to be thinking about. So in the Israeli military right now, they've got to block out. And it's really hard to say, and it's hard to fathom, but war is war. And they know there's going to be civilian casualties. We said that over a month ago that it was going to be hard to watch and it was going to be hard to look at. And the chance of us getting all the hostages back is slim, almost down to none. We're not going to see the Americans probably come out. They did kill 31 Americans, but this is one of those you almost have to block it out and look at it in black and white, that this is an operation that they have to continue. It's going to continue to be bloody. I think they're going to go through Khan Yunis, sweep through that, and then sooner or later they're going to have to make the decision, how do we get to the end state on negotiations? The problem you've got, Sandra, is who is there to get to that point of negotiations? The United States is not considered a reliable partner around the region. And this is one of those you almost have to turn to the Saudis for help as well, because they can help rebuild Gaza.
And General, I flipped to the next screen here just to sort of take viewers through what you were saying as the IDF expands into the southern areas there. This in the red is the area of active combat now in Gaza, taking up almost the entire Gaza Strip. So that is just how much of that area they are now covering. Flipping to the next screen, we remind everybody of the Hamas tunnel system and just how vast that is, General. In the north, we've been focusing on it there a lot. But as these military operations move into the southern part, you still see that vast underground Hamas tunnel system that really complicates things for the Israeli army. I mean, talk about that a little bit more and the obstacles that they will run into there now.
You know, Sandra, when you get involved in city fighting, and remember I said about a month ago, that's when you're a military man, you never want to get into a city fighting because it's so hard, so bloody. And the tunnels is a great example. You know, there's over 300 miles of tunnels, and they've got to get in those, and they've got to eradicate it, they've got to flood them, they've got to do something to go in there, because your military tools that you have that make you better than the other side, night vision goggles or hearing devices, they actually they don't have that capacity or capability when you get into urban terrain. So it's going to be it's basically face-to-face fight the whole way. It's not easy, it's hard, it's going to take a while to do it. And I think the Israelis are now committed to however long it takes to do it.
Yeah, and while all that is happening in Gaza, this is just a snapshot of the USS Carney shooting down the Houthi rebel drones in the Red Sea, the location of those 3 ships that were attacked, and the ongoing attacks to U.S. forces in the region. General, always good to have you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.